not attempt to adjust your set. This is a Streaming Freedom video bulletin. It cannot be stopped, and it is the only free voice left on the net. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. In today's Skyrim mod video for PS4 and PS5, I'm once again going to try to do what I can to bring you information that has been provided to me by our mod authors as well as some viewers in the community regarding the mod deletion of the 200 mods wrongfully removed from Bethesda. As always, please remember nothing in this video should be taken as 100% fact. A lot of this is information that is simply passed on to me by viewers and mod authors. Nothing in it is from Bethesda itself. But in the video, we will be discussing Bethesda's stance, as told me by comments on the mods. They will be allowing them back up, but there is some discrepancy on exactly how that is going to be, so I'll try to cover that in those comments. While not official information, I'll be talking about what many of us, myself included, suspect is Bethesda taking action against mod author Gokoell for his recent actions against the community, and probably more so because he has some mods that he does not have permission to port to our platform. The fact that he is still actually on the platform even after he said he was no longer going to be modding here, and that he's still doing the same thing, which is a comment that was left by mod author Cyan49. Taking a look at some comments from mod author Yearsmir's Beard, including comment where he goes into his own thoughts, views, and opinions to everything that has been happening, that Gokoell is having some support from certain people in the community who I guess are supporting his actions, as well as his thoughts, views, and opinions to Gokoell's ports. A couple of comments from viewers, one that is connected to Lux, and one from a viewer that wanted to let you know about Gokoell's ports being taken down. So in no particular order, let's get into this. So here's a comment from viewer Mila Skyrim 3926 who comments the following. The mods from when he called himself Gokoell have been removed. I don't know if it was him or Bethesda who removed them. The bad thing is that he keeps uploading mods with the name Gokoell, as Echo says in the video. She continues on, for now, any new mod uploaded in French should be a cause for suspicion and caution, unless its author is well known and the mod can be trusted. And I highly agree with that, just as I stated in the video when I warned you about the Gokoell account and the fact that that was Gokoell, is the fact that, while of course there are going to be French porters that are just as well-meaning as any other porter, we know Gokoell ports under multiple different accounts. He does not have good intentions, as he's clearly shown, and so you need to be very careful and know who it is you are downloading and installing in your load order. Otherwise, if you've had trouble before, you very well could have it again. And on that, if we go to Bethesda.net and type in Gokoell, you'll find that nothing under that name that says by Gokoell will come up. However, his other accounts still do, those being Gokoell, I cannot pronounce these names, and Gokoell. Any case, besides those two accounts, which I can confirm are Gokoell's accounts, I have always noticed that with the mod author Pizzle1230 that author has many of Gokoell's ports up, or ports for him, or at least is what it seems. I do not suspect that mod author of actually being Gokoell under a different account, but I thought it could possibly be a friend of his. I didn't know if it was a mod author that could be trusted or not. So I reached out to the mod author Yearsmir's Beard and asked him about that to get his response to who this author was, if they could be trusted, if he knew, and this was what he had to say. So Goldleafic, which is mod author Yearsmir's Beard, replied back to me, Pizzle doesn't upload anything himself. He has a MacBook. I don't know how he does it on a MacBook, but he asks us to upload on his behalf, either through our accounts or through his. I think Gokoell has access to this account though, so I would stay wary. So while the mod author Pizzle is somebody then that could be trusted according to this comment, the problem is multiple authors have access to the account, and while they mostly could be trusted obviously, if Gokoell has access, theoretically he could do the same thing that he's done previously in the deletion of mods and cause more trouble. So if you have any by Pizzle1230, you might want to be wary if Gokoell has access. Trickster3454, who is somebody connected to Lux, I believe is a part of his Discord server, commented the following. So, I just wanted you to know, the mods are slowly coming back as Bethesda is putting them back up. It could take anywhere from a couple of days to a week. Please don't harass Bethesda, as they have really helped us out. I'm not saying you would, Echo, but if you could just pass the message along. And I said, of course, that I would. And yeah, definitely, please guys, don't harass Bethesda in wanting to get the mods back up as soon as possible. They are on our side and are doing the right thing, allowing the mods back up because they were wrongly taken down. But there is some discrepancy on exactly how the mods are going to be going back up, and it could end up taking a lot longer than a week. So I received a comment from mod author Earsmith Beard just a little while ago, we'll be taking a look at later on, and he said that unfortunately it looks like the mods are not recoverable like they first thought they were going to be, meaning Lux most likely is going to have to make completely new ports of the mods. Now you consider that 200 mods were deleted, and I don't know if all of that was Lux's accounts or not, but for Armed with Wings and Moore's Umbra, Lux has potentially got a hell of a lot of work ahead of him. Somebody that is, has his own personal life, does this in his spare time, is doing this for us for free. He isn't getting anything in return for it. So please be understanding of Lux D. Rice in the fact that it might take him a while to get everything back up, and that it probably won't actually be everything, for the fact that if a mod on the Nexus was removed from there, then he most likely can't make a new port of it. I don't know how they do it, but there could be some ways that some of the mods deleted, unfortunately, are no longer recoverable. Next up is comment from mod author Earsmith Beard, his views and opinions, which are all his own, on mod author Gokoell, people defending Gokoell, as well as Gokoell's ports. Goldleafic, also known as Earsmith Beard, comments the following. Just in case this situation evolves further, for anyone who still defends Gokoell or thinks he is being targeted, 1. You have every right to defend him. He did good work with his ports, especially bringing DLC-sized mods like Rigmor Abruma with verified perms, and the Grey Cowl of Nocturnal, and one more I can't recall at the moment, the Grand Paladin, I think, and I commended him for being able to bring those to PlayStation. Same for mods like 360 Movement, and a lot of the other mods that were requested by users. No one has any ill intent towards him, though his recent actions has made us wary of him and his mods. Who knows what other mods he might delete? That's naturally a cause for losing trust. 2. You already know why he was excommunicated. If this warrants further explanation to make sense, then I worry for you all. 3. Returning to his ports. Lots of the ports absolutely do not need to be such big sizes. If Susiere's Sweets and Such Baking Expanded is 32 megabytes, and I was able to get it to fit in at barely 10 megabytes, then I ask you, do you really want a mod that can easily fit your load order for 10 megabytes than 32 megabytes? What is worse is even a straight port of it. No compression yields nothing close to 32 megabytes. Is it upscaled to 4K or 8K? What business does a clutter item have to be upscaled on a 1 GB limit? Is there something hidden inside of the mod? If so, then why even use a mod that he doesn't have permission for? It's closed permissions, and putting up a please support and endorse her I don't think qualifies as approval. As Mr. Cyan pointed out, I think it was Cyan, authors think translation permission equals a translation on the Nexus. This affects all of us negatively. Naturally, this makes me wonder if quest mods he ports really have to be the sizes that they are already. Enid Banners is compressed at 512 and has no business being 4K or even 1K for us on a 1GB mod space. Same for signage. Just a few examples of how testing yields acceptable visuals to mod size ratio. Like others have said, it's best to put this all behind us. Most of us were well aware of a lot of things, now also thanks to your coverage as well. I hope Gokoell takes this as a constructive criticism rather than a jab at him. I hope he does learn a lot more about doing ports. There's always room to grow, though after this recent debacle, I doubt he's going to be welcomed back anytime soon. Edit. I got a load order has changed when I booted up Skyrim. Was missing 14 megabytes of space. Turns out the Serana Reimagined port is taken down. Obviously due to missing permission. I think all the missing permission mods are going to be taken down. Congratulations, Gokoell. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to view Bethesda in a more positive light though. Now, that was all the views and opinions, of course, of mod author Ysmir's Beard, and I will want to touch on a couple of those things, but in the end of the day, I do think it does show himself and myself that we're not trying to throw, shade at Gokoell. We're simply trying to inform you of what is going on, because he points out good things Gokoell's done as well. It does not by any means excuse what he has done to this community since then. But one thing I do want to take and definitely point out is the fact that he stated that Serana Reimagined had missing perms, or at least I guess he thinks that's the reason why it was taken down, and I 100% disagree with that. For the reason that, not because I had done the showcase on them, but I did see the permissions when I did the showcase. The mod author that created that mod author Frost T, he is the one that has now commented twice on my videos. He has never said anything about the mod not supposed to be on PlayStation. In fact, he thought the mod was removed because, in a comment that I saw from him, he thinks Bethesda is removing all external asset mods, that people were porting them even though they're not supposed to be. Something that either somebody has informed him, which is not true, because obviously Bethesda is going to allow the ports back up. If they weren't allowed here, they would not do that. But because his views are that Bethesda removed them because they're not supposed to be here, it makes me wonder if he won't allow a port of that by a different author or any of his other content. And so I reached out to him and told him the situation with Gokoell, what is happening, and that the mods are allowed here. But at least at the time of the recording of this video, I have not heard back. Continuing on with Ysmir's Beard's comments, this is what I had mentioned a little earlier on, where he made a correction to a statement that he had given me information before and I have included in a past video, and that was about the mods popping back up once Bethesda would allow them. And he says, I realize I misjudged. Mods won't pop back up, sadly. I was looking at Armed with Wings mods, which were never completely deleted in the first place. I apologize. Should have searched more thoroughly. Looks like it will be a while before all the mods are back up again. I replied, it's understandable. Everything is so confusing currently. So, am I right that the deleted mods will have to have a new port uploaded? Players will have to delete the old ESP and download the new port version when and if one is uploaded. And to my question, then Ysmir's Beard replied back with the following. It's looking that way, yes. Lux is still in correspondence with Bethesda. The word it seems like is no recovery possible, so new ports will be made. This comment from mod author Cyan49 is in regards to the new account that Gokoell is currently porting under, the one that he made after he had said in a comment that he was no longer going to be porting the PlayStation, and that I have recently warned you about. Cyan comments, on Goku Areda, he may be more careful with porting, but it's still recommended to double check permissions. Even at this point, he uploaded, whatever the fuck that says, originally titled Cozy Lakeside Cabin, without permission, and 2 days later he requested upload permission, but of course the mod author has still not responded. And see, that is what is, in my opinion, really bad, and paints us in a bad light, just like the mod authors say, because while it's true Gokoell gets permissions for some of the mods he ports, and I stand by the fact that I've said that before, and I stand by it now, I've seen the permissions on some of the mods that were wrongly taken down of his, and mod author Ysmir's Beard also said that he gets some. He doesn't always, just like with this mod that Cyan mentioned. He did not have permission to port it to our platform, he just took it. 2 days later, he then requested after the fact, when that's not the way it works, and he still hasn't heard back, meaning the mod is not supposed to be here. Bethesda may remove it because of that, which would be right, as they did not have permission to have it on their platform from the original creator, which is somebody on the Nexus. And then ultimately, that could cause you, having to get in your load order, yet more problems. And also, it paints our mod author community in a bad light to the outside mod author community that's not a part of PlayStation, because they see what looks to be their content being stolen, because really it is. If they did not have permission to take it, then I consider that stolen. And they're like, well, hell, they just take whatever they damn well please. And then let's say that one of our mod authors goes to them legitimately and is like, hey, the PlayStation community really likes your mod. We would love to have a port of that. Would you allow me to port it to the PlayStation platform? They might turn us down because of shit like that. And that's why I believe mod authors say that it paints them in a bad light. And it does. And they are not like that. Our PlayStation mod authors, the men and women that take time out of their personal lives in creating content, creating and porting or porting content for us, asking nothing in return and usually getting nothing in return. You know, not only do they do that to enrich our experience in the game, but look at what is happening now with yet another bad break, so to speak, with this mod deletion, which true enough was caused by a mod author this time, a rogue one, but in any case, there is something that has happened to the community, and mod authors that were not connected to it, that as far as I know did not have any of their own mods deleted, are still here just as much, trying to get information out, trying to help you. They know that you have breaks and deletions and stuff in your game because of this, that you have issues, and they're here trying to support the community, and they don't have to. And so that's why I want to give a super huge thank you, especially to mod author Yzmir's Beard, who really, if you notice, has been the one in the comments giving so much information to myself to get out to you, trying to keep me in the loop. Mod author Cyan49, to any of the mod authors that have taken the time, I want to give a super huge thank you to you. And then not only to them, but also just as much, I want to thank you, my viewers. You guys are, affected by this, mods being deleted, saves being corrupted, all kinds of shit going on because of what happened. Yet you're still in the comment section not only looking for help, but providing help. Letting know what mods were deleted, issues that occurred, your observations. And that's why I am so proud to be a part of this community. Anytime that something happens, and it's Skyrim, it happens often, we're all here for each other. But where you guys thank me for getting the content out, and I appreciate that, it's really me that should be thanking you. You guys are the reason I'm able to get the content out. You, the community, and our mod authors. So from me to you, I'd like to say thank you. This has been a Streaming Freedom video bulletin via the Eyes Only Informant Net. Peace out.